I'm Dr. Heather Hanwell with Ontario School Safety. I'm one of the directors and I'm a mom of an Ontario student, as is Mary Jo Nabuurs, who's going to be speaking on behalf of our group.
Hello, I'm Mary Jo Nabuurs. I'm Officer of Media Relations and Outreach for Ontario School Safety. Ontario School Safety is honored to be here during International Infection Prevention Week and grateful to support this first step toward truly improving indoor air quality in Ontario schools. Air quality in schools is an equity issue. Some schools are subject to more pollution than others. Not all schools have the same quality of HVAC system, or access to HEPA filtration, or even windows that open. So we need Ontario's government to set policies. Let's ensure students and education workers in North Bay have the same access to clean indoor air as they do in Vaughan. Clean indoor air should be available to everyone, regardless of where you're located or your political affiliation. It's not absurd to expect clean air to breathe. It's like expecting clean water to drink. And it's especially not absurd when we have the tools to make it happen. I think about how many parents and caregivers consider kids as little germ factories. I know I did. I was surprised to learn as a parent of 3 older teens that expecting kids to get sick at school when they were little didn't have to be a thing. It's not even necessary for building strong immune systems. Although studies have shown for decades how poor air quality is in schools, most people haven't been aware of it. And so we've accepted very low standards for the air our kids breathe. This bill is an important step to rectifying that issue as it heeds the lesson learned. It's the buildings and the buses that are sick. It's not the kids. By beginning to focus on ventilation in indoor spaces, we'll be armed with the information we need to properly filter the air in those spaces as well. The global pandemic caused by a virus that we contract simply by breathing it in has shown that we can no longer wait for cleaner air. Our provincial government knows that too. So Ontario School Safety looks forward to all members of the Legislative Assembly acknowledging the numerous benefits to clean indoor air, like improved academic and athletic performance, fewer healthcare needs, and less missed work for staff, parents, caregivers, and teens. There really are no downsides to adopting bills like the one being tabled today. So let's get to a place where we can keep kids and education workers in the classroom, in a stable and healthy classroom.
Private members' bills are often defeated. It is very, very rare for a private member's bill from the opposition to pass. If the government doesn't pass this, what do you think? What does that say to your group?
We can both talk, so I'm sure we both have some thoughts there. Hi, I just, you know what, I wanted, if I may, just start off by saying, this is a CO2 monitor. And so when we bring it here each time we've come to Queen's Park, we are careful to mask and things, but the air quality here is stellar. So the workplace for our government right now is not an issue as far as ventilation goes. We're simply looking for the same for kids and our education workers. And so what we do as a group, a grassroots group who's running around trying to keep up with life ourselves, we're coming from all angles. We're going to our government and saying, listen, this is something you need to do. You mandate kids going to school, so you need to make sure you make it a place where they can be safe. Right? You need to make it a place where our education workers can get to work every day, feel healthy to be there regularly for their kids. We also go at it at a very personal level with our own teachers, our own principals, and our own school boards, and we do delegations. We've had a group get together and make CR boxes, the Corsi Rosenthal boxes, which are a much less expensive option than HEPA filters and can be much quieter as well. So when you're asking about finances, that is one way that we have discovered is a way to get better things happening in terms of the classrooms when ventilation isn't enough. We can filter the air as well. Is there something you wanted to say there?
Sure. So the question about what do we do if this bill is defeated? And I mean, we are realists. We understand that very well may be the case. We have stood here before at Queen's Park announcing that we have legal representation, and we are exploring options for launching a legal challenge against the Government of Ontario for not providing safe enough schools for students and education staff. So that is a last resort. Our group really wants to work with the government. We have sent letters inviting them to the table to come and discuss with us. And unfortunately, we've either been met with silence or with rote responses that don't address our concerns. Our concerns are that we don't know what the quality of air is for our students and staff on school buses as well as in schools. And what we do know is pretty concerning. Hearing those stats from Quebec about the parts per million of CO2 is concerning. So if it's defeated, a legal option is something that we are very seriously exploring as Ontario School Safety, in addition to all of these other grassroots efforts to try to improve standards ourselves. We're also working with other groups. So there's a coalition with the Canadian Aerosol Transmission Coalition. There's a national group called Safe Air, Safe Schools as well. So we do have some other options as well, but we sure would love to see this bill adopted, and we ask all of our members of Parliament to please vote yes on this.